The evening began with laughter, clinking glasses, and polite smiles, the kind of artificial warmth that always lingers at corporate parties. I stayed close to my husband, Michael, watching him navigate the room full of polished executives and carefully chosen words. For him, these events were heavy, a constant reminder that his career depended on how well he blended into a world that had never truly been built for him. Then the tension started. His boss, Mr. Harrington, a man in sharp suits with sharper words, was outlining a new company strategy. Michael disagreed, his tone steady but firm. The circle of colleagues shifted uneasily. A silence stretched between them, thick and suffocating. Before I could think twice, I stepped forward and said, "Actually, I agree with Mr. Harrington. His plan makes more sense in the long term." The words left my mouth too quickly, almost instinctively, as if I were saving the room from awkwardness. But the moment I said them, I felt Michael's eyes on me, wide, disbelieving, and deeply wounded. For a beat, no one spoke. Then Mr. Harrington smirked, clearly pleased to have someone echo his brilliance. Laughter rippled through the group, but it sounded hollow in my ears. I had sided against my husband, not privately but in front of his boss, his colleagues, his entire world. Michael's jaw tightened. His hand gripped his glass until his knuckles turned white. He didn't speak at first, but the storm in his eyes told me I had crossed a line that couldn't be uncrossed. The room carried on, conversations shifting, but between us the silence was louder than anything else. Then suddenly he spoke. His voice was sharp, cutting through the noise. "Of course you'd agree with him. You've always liked powerful men telling you what to think." The laughter stopped. Every head turned. My breath caught in my throat. I had thought I was diffusing tension, but instead, I had lit a fire I couldn't control. The silence that followed Michael's outburst was suffocating. Glasses paused halfway to lips. Conversations froze mid-sentence. The room tilted on its axis. My cheeks burned hot while my body felt cold, frozen under the weight of 100 staring eyes. "Michael," I whispered, but he didn't look at me. His eyes were locked on his boss, his expression equal parts fury and pain. Mr. Harrington chuckled low and mocking, trying to ease the tension. "Come now, no need to get personal, Michael. It was just a discussion." But Michael wasn't done. "No, it's not just a discussion," he said. "When my wife decides to humiliate me in front of everyone, it's not just a discussion. When the one person who should have my back decides I'm wrong before I even finish speaking." His voice cracked, not with weakness, but with something raw, something deeper than anger. Gasps fluttered through the crowd. Some colleagues looked away, pretending to sip their drinks. Others leaned in, captivated by the train wreck unfolding before them. I wanted to reach for him, to explain, but my throat was dry, and my words tangled before they could escape. "I've worked under you for years, Harrington," Michael continued, his voice steadying as he straightened his shoulders. "I've swallowed my pride more times than I can count. But tonight, in front of everyone, I realized something. If even my own wife doesn't believe in me, what am I still doing here?" The words landed like a hammer. Mr. Harrington's smirk faltered. The room buzzed with unease. My heart hammered, every beat echoing guilt inside me. "Michael, please," I tried again. But he finally looked at me, and the look in his eyes wasn't fury anymore. It was something worse, broken trust. He set his glass down with deliberate care. The clink against the table was as sharp as a gunshot. "Congratulations," he said quietly, his words aimed at me, but meant for everyone. "You've managed to embarrass me more effectively than anyone in this company ever could." And with that, he turned and walked out, leaving me standing there, surrounded by whispers, shame, and the suffocating weight of my own betrayal. The moment Michael walked out of that room, the party crumbled for me. The laughter resumed in uneasy fragments, but every sound felt jagged, cutting into my skin. People avoided my eyes, though I could feel their judgment pressing against me from every angle. I wanted to vanish, to disappear into the ground beneath my heels. I left soon after, chasing him into the cool night air, but he was gone. His car wasn't in the lot, and my calls went unanswered. Hours stretched into the longest night of my life. I sat awake in our apartment, replaying every second, every word, every choice I had made. I hadn't just disagreed with him, I had humiliated him, stripped him of dignity in front of the one man who had made his career unbearable. When Michael finally came home the next morning, he looked different, not angry, not even cold, just distant, like someone who had already walked away in his heart. He packed a small bag, moving slowly, deliberately. "Michael, please," I begged, my voice cracking. "I didn't mean to hurt you. I thought I was supporting the right idea. I wasn't thinking." He paused, looking at me for a long, painful moment. "Exactly," he said softly. "You weren't thinking of me. Not last night. Not when I needed you most." His words cut deeper than any outburst could have. There was no shouting, no anger, just disappointment so heavy it hollowed me out. He left then, closing the door behind him with a quiet finality that shattered me more than any slam ever could. In the weeks that followed, the story of that night spread through his company like wildfire. To everyone else, it was gossip, an unforgettable scene at a dull corporate party. But for me, it was the moment everything unraveled. I had always thought betrayal came in grand acts, infidelity, lies, secrets. I never realized it could come from something as small as a sentence spoken at the wrong time, in the wrong place, against the wrong person. And now I live with the echo of his words, the image of his back as he walked away, and the crushing knowledge that sometimes one mistake, one betrayal, is enough to end everything.